Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to another video. I am going to start off by saying I apologise for the echo. I am in my new apartment in Al and it's echoey. I don't really know how else to say it. It is just echoey. The rooms here have really high ceilings. Everything is solid. We've got hard tiled floors, and at the moment, because I've only just moved in, I don't have much in the way of furniture. So I'm going to have a little bit of a think about where I can film that will avoid the echo that's not in the kitchen. But yeah, right, so today's video I have, as I just said, I have finally moved to Al. For those of you that are new to my channel or you've clicked on this video because you're interested in the thumbnail or whatever it might be, I'm a teacher and I have recently moved out to the UAE, specifically to a city called Al, which is in Abu Dhabi. I have been in Al now for about 3 or so weeks. Before that, I spent a week and a bit in Dubai for quarantine purposes. So today's video is me talking about my final transition over to Al, moving into my apartment and talking about my first couple of weeks in school because the school term out here has already started. So, without further ado, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you find this video interesting or it potentially has helped you in any way, hit the like button. And if you want to know anything in particular about the process of moving out here, comment down below. Let's get into it. So since my last video, there have been quite a few developments. So first thing, obviously, I got a PCR test that was organised by the school. They came to the hotel in Dubai, and then the school organised a coach to take myself and the other new teachers up to Al. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive. Obviously, because we are changing Emirates from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, there was a bit of a hop over from one Emirate to the other. And when we went there, there was a little office and we had to provide proof of negative PCR. We had to provide our passports, and depending on how far along in the employment process you are, I handed over my Abu Dhabi Department of Education ADEC work visa, and I obviously had my entry stamp, so they were able to look at those, and yeah, that was pretty much it. And then it's about, like I say, about an hour and a half from Dubai up to Al, and then I was put in another hotel for a week while I furnished my new apartment. Now, I'm not going to talk and show you my apartment because I figured I'd do a separate video for that, but I am now in my apartment. It is mostly furnished, and I don't have to spend any more time in a hotel, which is great because I was getting really fed up with hotel food. So, as I said, there have been a few developments. Obviously, I have moved to Al. I am now in my apartment, as you can probably tell. And there have been a few other things that have happened since moving here that I would like to talk to you about. So, the first thing that I did was I went through the process of my sort of second medical. Now, in Dubai, and I did speak about this in a previous video, I had to go and get the first medical test to become an employee over here, and that was to get bloods taken and to get a chest x-ray. The second part of the medical is, it's not really a medical as such, it's more identification, is you get your biometrics done. So they scan your hands, they take all your fingerprints, and they take a photo of you. The photo is used for your residency visa, which eventually gets stuck in your passport. And basically they're taking all this information, so they have you on system and they know who you are and they have all your details basically. So once I did that, that came on to part 2. Having done the medicals, having signed all of my contracts, having been offered or having been given my formal e-visa, my working visa essentially, the last thing that then needed to be sorted was my residency visa. And this is basically a sticker about way big that goes in your passport. And as a teacher, you hand your passport over to a member of your school, and they will tell you and they'll notify you when you need to do this. And then someone will take it to the immigration office, and having submitted all your paperwork, they will then sort your e-visa out, your residency visa even, and they will stick it into your passport. These last for 2 years, and it basically just says you're a resident, so you have lots of the perks of being a resident. You can do things like hire cars, buy cars, you can buy internet and get all those kind of things sorted. And before you get those, it's very difficult to do any of those things. You can hire a car. I have had a car since I've been here in Al, but things like buying off internet, buying a car, you need to be a resident. And the final thing after you've done all of that and all of those things are sorted is you will be given or sent your Emirates ID. And out here, the Emirates ID, it holds like similar sort of weight to a passport. All of your information is on the ID. Wherever you go, if you want to buy a car, if you want to go to a hotel, 9 times out of 10 they'll ask you for it. I suppose it's kind of like the equivalent of a UK driver's license, but you can do more with it. But yeah, so that is the last thing that you get given, and life is just so much easier, simpler, and hassle-free when you have it. Now, I don't have mine yet, but the next process is for that to be delivered, and it gets delivered to like a PO box or to your school. So I will get notified when that has been organised and when it's at the local post office, and then I just need to go and pick it up. And then once I've got it, I'm all good. Okay, so what about school? Now, school has been amazing. I've been in for a couple of weeks now. I've met a lot of the team. I've met so many people, it's unreal. And they've all been unbelievably welcoming. I've been invited for barbecues, I've been out for drinks with people, I've been to the local rugby club here. Everyone wants to make sure that you settle in well, and it's a really caring environment. Everyone you see asks how you're doing, and you can tell that people just want you to settle in really well and to feel welcome, which is lovely, it really is. Especially if, like me, this is like your first time properly moving abroad. I've travelled a reasonable bit and I have spent longer periods of time abroad, but moving out properly and having my own apartment and working is a bit new to me, so having that support network at your school is amazing. The start was not specifically the smoothest, purely because of COVID. Now out here in Abu Dhabi, and it is a little bit different in some of the other Emirates of the UAE, but out here in Abu Dhabi, you need to have something called Al Hosn. It's basically a mobile app, and it works very similar to the NHS app, and it records all of your health information, specifically your PCR tests when you have those done, and your vaccinations. And to work in schools out here, you need to be vaccinated, and you need to take regular PCR tests to make sure that you've not got COVID, and also to just generally make sure that you're healthy when you come into school. And for a lot of us new starters, because of we were all at different stages in visa applications and things like that, I struggled so hard to get onto the app. And what that meant is that the first week of school, fortunately the children weren't in at this point, but the first week, which would have been opportunities for training and for me to have gone in and met my new team and things like that, I wasn't able to get into school. So it had to be done virtually, which meant that the first day I was in was the day before the kids got in, and so there was a big rush on planning and things like that. But as a team, everyone got through it, and yeah, it's just, I think if you're a teacher or you work in a school, the beginning of any year is a bit mad, but the beginning of a year of school, when you're moving to a new country and have apartments and all sorts of other stuff to deal with, and you've got COVID to battle with, yeah, it's a bit mad, but I'm in and it's all good. So in terms of the children I'm teaching, the environment, the children themselves, it is really positive. The children came in, and apart from being a little bit quiet on the first day because I'm a new teacher and they're in a new class, and there was a bit of a mix around because of COVID with like who's in what class and stuff, they're a little bit quiet, but they're really well behaved, they work really hard, and yeah, it's just a really positive environment to be a teacher in. And I came from an equally positive environment, so for me to say that still, it is obviously, it's fantastic, it's really good. Now I know I've only been at the school for a couple of weeks, and I've only really just kind of sort of got my foot through the door, so to speak. I'm really enjoying being a teacher out here so far. The layout of the day is completely different, and I am going to do a bit of a video comparing sort of teaching back in the UK to teaching out here, because there are a few differences. And I am going to do, like a separate video on that for those of you that might be interested in it. But so far, I've been welcomed, the children are amazing, and it just feels like a really nice, positive environment to be a teacher in, which you can't ask for any more than that. Alright, so I am going to wrap the video up now. This video is kind of just a bit of a check-in to talk about the sort of the processes I've been through, since moving up here to Al Ain. And hopefully if you are either moving to Al Ain or you are moving to the UAE in general, this video might be helpful. So, like I said at the beginning, if you are new, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, hit the like button. And if you do have any requests, I do read the comments. Please comment down below and I will see what I can do. But yeah, right guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye!